Hello and welcome to UAT Time within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us at the frequencies available to our website firstuat.com. I'm Sergey Velichanskiy.
And I am Olivier Vedrine. UAT Time is dedicated to bring Ukraine and Europe closer to each other by introducing the real Ukraine to the rest of the world.
The conflicts in the 21st century are lost and won in the minds of people and not only on the battlefields. It is no wonder that after being in such a close proximity with Russia for many years, and especially having had all key positions with access to state secrets entrusted to people whose allegiance was to Moscow, we could not have kept Crimea and have lost initial battles for some parts of eastern Ukraine. Are we in better positions now? Are we capable to provide quality response in the TV and social media as well as on the battlefields?
Our guest today is Volodymyr Polevyi, the head of the Information Analysis Center of the National Security of Ukraine.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
The situation in Ukraine is dangerously hot, I would say, dangerous politically. And what do you think about the intelligence influence of Russia, not only in Donbass and Crimea, but in other parts of Ukraine?
You know, it's not a secret that there are a lot of supporters of Russia in our society. It is not only about the Donbass, but about all parts of our country and all parts of our society. This includes the military forces, the counterintelligence, the courts, and so on. In every part of our society, we have the people who support Russia. And it is really a problem, but after 1 year, a conflict have passed. We have some changes because some people becomes more Ukrainian, you know, becomes more patriotic on the way to fight with Russia.
But one of the strategies that the Russian side is using is the provocations in mass media, informational provocations. They sometimes doesn't, you know, a lot of people can't figure out if it's a fake or not. The information gets into the mass media and then it's spread around so fast and people start believing it, and that could be easily leading into the political crisis of any kind.
I think there are two parts of this conflict. One part, it is the Russian part, and the other side is Ukraine. It concerns what we do. It concerns the correlation between what we say and what we do. It concerns it is about the truth and lie in our policy.
Yeah.
I want to be honest. To my mind, we don't have a political will to fight with aggressor. And that is why our politicians and our media don't know what to say on the TV or in the social media. Yes. Because it seems to me, it looks like we want to trade with Russia, not to fight with Russia.
Yes.
If you remember the elections promises of our president, he said he would stop this war at 5 days.
Yes.
And it isn't true. Yes. He would pay for 1,000 hryvnias for every soldier on the front, and it is not true too. And so on.
Well, what do you think the informational influence, the influence of different fakes and different statements, or which are said or not said, or which are fulfilled or not fulfilled. That difference, that influence on the political crisis that is here in Ukraine.
You know, we have to say the word, we are in war. We are in war. Then this war has some tools, instruments.
Yeah.
Information is one of these instruments. Information is a weapon. And with information you have propaganda, manipulation, destabilization. And this is a new sort of war. This is a hybrid war. This is a hybrid war, and in this hybrid war you have this large part with intelligence.
Yeah.
And this large part now is growing, in my sense of analysis, is growing. Because Russia knows that Russia cannot invade Ukraine, but Russia can destabilize Ukraine. And intelligence, influence, will be the key instrument to destabilize Ukraine.
Well, okay, but now we have other elections coming up in October, and that's very important for all the local authorities to have Ukraine run a normal life. We need to fulfill all what's prescribed by Constitution. But that's a good chance again for the Russian intelligence and the Russian influence to come in and to continue the destabilization. What do you think? What are your predictions for the future, for the upcoming elections in October?
There are some threats in these future elections, and I'm really concerned about the elections on the occupied territory.
Okay.
Because according to the Minsk agreement, we should to organize the election on this territory, not only in the local level, yes,
okay,
but we should to fulfill our parliamentary position in our parliament, because now we have only 422 parliamentaries, and we should to have 450 parliamentaries, and it is election. The people would vote for these candidates on the majority districts on the occupied territory under the Russian control.
But that is a question: how in the world can we do that? Because all the armed men, they don't like anything that has to do with Ukraine whatsoever. They are against our representatives from Kiev, from the parliament. What do you know? How do you think this could be done?
But that's the reality. We hadn't, for example, we hadn't changed our constitution. Yes, but according to the Minsk agreement, we had to implement some form of decentralization and special status of Donbas region in our constitution. And we did it. Yes, under the pressure of Russia, under the pressure of West, we did these strange things.
That's the conditions, yes, they are fulfilled. And so what? What's next?
As for me, we would have some form of frozen conflict, and it would become more interior, not the conflict between Ukraine and Russia as we have now, but it would be the interior conflict between the parts of Ukraine, yes, between some representatives and, for example, militia and military forces of Ukraine.
Okay, so are we saying that we're giving them the legitimation? They become legitimate?
Yes, according to the Minsk agreement, they would become legitimate.
Legitimate.
Yes, we are like some scenario, like not totally like, but some part like Abkhazia and Georgia. Let's see, this like you will have in Ukraine and semi-independent state, part of Ukraine, but with a large autonomy, and this state will be manipulated by Russia to destabilize
But you
Ukraine.
know, Olivier, Georgia didn't recognize Abkhazia as a part
That's
of Georgia.
why I say part of.
Yes,
So
but we should recognize
Yeah, I know.
Donbass as a part of our
That's why I say
territory.
you will
And
have
it is
in
a
Ukraine.
nonsense.
Yeah.
You will have in Ukraine in independent or a part of Ukraine with a large autonomy, and this large autonomy will be manipulated like a tool by Russia. But I want to underline a fact. Russia lost the classical war because at the beginning the goal of Russia was to go to Kiev and to go to Kharkov and to go to Odessa, and they lost the classical war.
Yes.
But
yes.
but now they are winning the information war and the influence war, and this is very dangerous.
I still don't get it. Yes, it was some of the conditions from Russia, and at the same time, Europe is supporting those conditions. I
Yeah.
guess one of the things they want to stop the war.
No, as I said to you, Europe is afraid
Yes.
about Russia, and we don't want a war with Russia. That's why in information, in newspaper, in TV, in Europe, we don't speak about a war in Ukraine. We speak about civil war, crisis.
Okay. Yeah, use all kinds of terms instead of.
And that's why we ask the Ukraine to please stop, because we don't want a war with Russia.
And we do the same. We don't use the word war.
In the official, yes.
in
ATO, anti-terroristic operation, but not
the war.
not the war. And
That's why I think we have, when we have to do an interview, we have to say frankly and honestly, this is a war. And stop to make the other words.
because so much different types of weapons is used, it's hard to imagine any anti-terroristic operation with the use of all the real full-blown military equipment and
Yeah.
weaponry. Okay. The thing is that on one side we have a war in Donbass or anti-terroristic operation, but on another side we are having a domestic war against corruption, and whether we're winning or not, that's not a matter yet, because we're not sure what is going on. In some of our previous programs, we talked about some laws and some intentions that are publicly expressed, but at the same time, nothing is done. And so, what would you say about the war against corruption? Is anything changing?
I think something has been done for this time. But I think we still have inefficient war or struggle against the corruption in Ukraine. You know, I have a special marker about this war against corruption. It is a so-called free trade zone in Crimea, in occupied Crimea. We have a law, and it is absolutely legitimate to trade with the occupied Crimea, with the whole Russia, on the condition of the free trade zone. And the next marker is customer on the border with Donbass. Because we proclaimed that there is no trade relation between Donbass and Ukraine.
Officially, that's the position.
But there are a lot of
smuggling and contraband, yes.
And contraband. And to my mind, there is only way to resolve this problem, to organize the customer points on the border, and to take the taxes from these goods. And
so you would say you are in favor of doing the trade between the main part of Ukraine and the Donbass territory?
If we can stop the trade,
it's better to organize it
with Russia as an aggression state.
Yes.
Yes. We should take taxes from this trade.
Okay. What do you think? Supposedly that's an occupied territory. People are getting dead, getting killed in that territory at this point, and And
for me, I am more strict. I think we have to cut all the link.
No connection.
No connection.
Strategically, yes.
Strategically, this is the only way.
It is the only way, yes, to resolve the problem. If Russia is aggression, what are we talking about?
So for example, during the First World War, the Second World War, we were in war against Germany, and no trade, between France and Germany during the war. So that's obvious. Then that's why I think no, with Russia you have to be strong. You cut all the links.
But at the same time, we have, in all the layers of society, there are issues like singers. Should singers be able to go and perform in Russia and do concerts and make money there, or other businesses? But recently, one of the major beer manufacturers in Kyiv has announced that they're going to produce beer in Russia. I hope that's not the truth, and it's a fake, but so it doesn't help. It doesn't help, bring peace in our society, and it destabilizes the society in all the different layers.
During the First World War between France and Germany, a French company didn't go to Germany to produce beer or wine or something like that, okay?
Yes.
And during the Second World War, some car company like Renault worked for Germany during the Second World War. And at the end, General de Gaulle make Renault public company.
Oh, so he nationalized it. Oh, that's interesting. You see, but that's what, first of all...
For me, this is incredible. That's a company in Ukraine. Ukraine is in war against Russia in the Donbass, and this company will do money in Russia?
But what
is that?
But there we go again. There is no official state of war. We have basically an anti-terroristic operation.
And my friend on ATO, they are fighting for what? Against who?
Well, you're asking me.
Yeah, no, I ask. Yes, this is a general question.
We had some discussion on this subject with Olivier. Yes, and thank you, Olivier, that you mentioned the General de Gaulle. But as for me, our government is more like Vichy government during the Second World War in France, not like the General de Gaulle government during the war, because we have the same, the occupied territory, the collaboration with the enemy on some direction, for example, on trades, with the same free trade zone in Crimea. Yes, we have the negotiations and so on.
Yeah. Well, at one side, life has to continue, but on another side, until there are some specific statements and law or court decisions made for the public, to underline the previous story and previous happenings, and to turn on, move us to a new stage of our relationships. It's hard to talk about these things, but is your opinion? In your opinion, Ukraine is Ukraine the battlefield between Europe and USA and Russia? Is that where the clashes of interests is taking place? What would you say? What do you think?
The world, not only Ukraine, should stop Russia. And in such point of view, Ukraine is definitely the battlefield with Russia. Mm-hmm. But I want to emphasize this not only on the relation between European Union and Russia, but I want to remind the Budapest Agreement, in which United States, the France, the United Kingdom, mm-hmm. the Chinese, and the Russia were guarantee of our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Yes, and our task is to stand fast, stand up, to hold our borders, to keep safe our sovereignty and territorial integrity until our guarantors, mm-hmm. such as United States, British, France, and other countries, will organize the economical and other pressure on Russia.
Yes, I wish it was that simple, but looks like some things are happening, either individually, like France didn't sell Mistrals to Russia, or on the level of European Union, like sanctions, official sanctions against mm-hmm. Russia. What do you think? Are they effective?
We are to increase the sanction against Russia, in my point of view.
That's exactly what
because we are running against the time.
Yes.
We don't have a lot of time, and we are to increase the sanction. I want to underline, this is not a war against the Russian people. This is a war against Putin and
yes.
a new imperialistic Russia. And we have to fight for values.
Okay. What do you think about the sanctions?
European values.
Are they sufficient, or what should be or could be done?
I'm totally agree with Olivier that we should increase our sanction against Russia, but I want to ask the West countries, is this all? That's all?
Yeah.
And that's all what you can? You are the guarantors of our sovereignty. You are the countries of democratic values.
Yes.
Are looking at this aggression, at the occupation of Crimea, at the violation of human rights on our territory, and that's all. You stop some relations with some companies of Russia, and that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question is that everything that's done, that could be done as a guarantee of the sovereignty of Ukraine that was signed in Budapest, or there's more to come? I hope, yes, I hope there is more to come, and we will keep an eye on all latest developments, and we'll yes, keep you posted, because our mission is to introduce the real Ukraine to the rest of the world. It was United Country UAT time by First Ukraine. Thank you for joining us for a cup of tea.
Olivier, Vedrine and Sergey Velichanskiy were working for you in the studio. Stay with us and we will show you the real Ukraine.
Thank you for being with us. Have a good day and see you soon.
Thank you.